Hey there, happy kombuchans. Today we're going to talk about the batch method of brewing kombucha. Possibly the most well-known way of making kombucha. You get a jar, here's a 2 litre, put 4 to 6 tea bags in the jar, 180 to 200 grams of sugar, boil, pour your boiling water in, stir it around, leave it to sit. Give it about 10 minutes with the tea bags in and then take the tea bags out and then let it cool. You want it to be no warmer than you would if you were testing it with your little finger, so that when you put your little finger in it's sort of lukewarm, nothing more than that. The teas that you use have to be what I call real teas, you know, a black, a green, a white. You can mix it up a little bit. I quite like mixing a black and a green. I think that gives it a twang. You get the goodness from the green, you get the twang that's with the mixing of the black and the green, which brings it quite a nice distinctive flavour, worth trying. So when your tea's cooled and you've taken your tea bags out, you have your jar and you have your SCOBY. Get your SCOBY. And this beautiful chap sits happily in there. We'll add some juice for him, like so. That helps his transition when he first goes in there. He'll go into the tea, he'll adjust to it, and he'll start doing his magic for you. Once you put him in, the top, a little bit of a wipe. Give him a hat. Like so. And the hat is there so that he can breathe, but there's covering for flies, that sort of thing. Keeps him nice and happy. And you want to put him somewhere where there isn't too much human traffic, constant temperature, so that things are fairly placid for the SCOBY. And if you leave to brew, most sort of standard house conditions, you would leave between 7 to 14 days. Now that's quite a broad range, and the variation will be on what your preference is and how you take your kombucha. Obviously the longer you leave it, the stronger the kombucha will become, the more vinegary, if you will, it will taste. So you'll learn as you go what your preference is. Knowing when the kombucha is ready is all about when you drink a little bit of the kombucha to test it and it doesn't taste of tea anymore. It doesn't taste of sweet tea, it tastes of something different. That is when you know that it has gone from being the tea liquid to being the kombucha. From there, you sort of go with what you prefer in terms of your distinct pleasure and enjoyment of the flavour. I tend to brew mine a little bit longer because I like it stronger. Other people keep it sort of on the shorter end because they prefer it a little bit sweeter. But that is in effect the batch method of kombucha. Now, very quickly, when you are ready to drink it, you will pour it out of here and you'll save a little bit of the juice at the bottom. You take your SCOBY out, get the juice, put it in a bowl like this, sit them together, and you would begin the process again. So you'd put your tea bags and your sugar in, boil your kettle, top up the jar, wait for it to cool, and then you put your SCOBY and the juice back in and you start again. And the process just goes on like that. That's the batch method. If you have any questions, give us a call, send us an email, happykombucha.co.uk. Thanks for listening.